Hello, everyone. I wanted to talk this morning about regret. I know that all of us at some point in our lives have gone through different experiences, have met certain people, have had certain relationships that when we walk away from them, or when the situation turns sour, or when the relationship ends, or whatever the case may be, we look back at it and we regret having gone through, having met that person, having spent so much time with them, invested in these relationships, invested whatever it is, whatever the situation is. We look back on different circumstances of our past with regret. And I have experienced that in so many instances of my life, looking at how much time I've wasted or thought I've wasted, and just thought, gosh, I regret ever having gone through this thing, ever having met this person. And I remember a particular incident where I was in a very bad place. I was in total disobedience to the Lord, and I was in a bad state. And I went through different things, and so out of my disobedience, I was doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. And coming out of that experience, I was so disappointed in myself. And so I found it very hard, even though I knew, in my mind, in my heart, I knew that I was forgiven by the Lord. It was hard for me to forgive myself. And I looked at that thing with regret, and it was regret to the point of suicidal thoughts. Many times, if you watch my little stories that I post on Instagram, if you there's a song by Papa San, Smile Again, and there's a line in the song that says, you know he's basically saying, so many times, there were times when I felt like I would have lied down in my bed and not wake up, and somebody find me dead. And that has really been true in my own life. During that period of time, I was struggling seriously with suicidal thoughts, because I felt so disappointed that I had allowed myself to get to the point of doing the things I was doing in that season of my life. And I really had to take stock of where I was. I really had to really look at it for what it was, because you have the suicidal thoughts, and you have these feelings of regret, and the feelings of guilt, and the feelings of total overwhelm. But then there's also, on the flip side of those feelings, you know that there is something great still resident on the inside of you. There is still something that you must deposit in the earth before you leave. And you know that if you choose the route of suicide, if you choose the route of guilt, if you choose to go down that particular road, you know that you will forfeit the things that you have to do. You will forfeit the plan that God has for your life. And so I was very adamant that I had to get out. I realized what was happening with me. I realized that the thoughts that I was having did not serve me in any way positively. And so I had to seek help. And so I'm saying to you this morning to encourage you, and I don't know who this will minister to, but I'm certain that the fact that it came to my mind this morning to talk about it, that there is somebody who will see this video who needs to hear this word. And I'm saying to you that whatever it is you've gone through, once you confess that thing to the Lord, you are forgiven. And I want you to take stock of the thoughts that you're thinking. Where are you in your head space? Where are you in your heart space? You are forgiven, but have you forgiven yourself? Because sometimes that's the hardest part. Sometimes we look on the situations with regret, and we feel so bad about the situations, and we feel just terrible that we allowed ourselves sometimes to be duped, to be fooled by people. Whatever the situation is, I don't know what your situation is today, but I do know that there is no situation that we go through in life that doesn't have a lesson in it. And I know that no matter what it is, no matter how bad it is, no matter how dirty you feel as a result of your sin, no matter what the situation is, there is something that you can take away from it as a lesson, for you to walk on it, for you to come out of that situation better than you were when you went into it. And even if you know better, when I was in my sinful place, I knew better. I was a praise and worship leader as I still am today. I was a woman of God as I still am today. I knew better, but I willfully went away, walked away from the Lord in my heart in a particular season of my life based on disappointment and different things. And I willfully did that. So I knew better. But I do know that I was forgiven the day I confessed my sin to the Lord. I know that God washed me and purified me. And so it took me, surrendering my guilt, surrendering my regrets, surrendering my feelings about the situation to Him, because I was forgiven, but I didn't forgive myself. And so I struggled with it for a long, long, long time. And when I realized I was having those suicidal thoughts, I had to seek help. And so one of my pastors at church, I sought help from him. Why is that so hard to say? I sought help from him, and I sat with him, and I was just very open about what was happening. And so I'm encouraging you, find someone that you can trust with your dirt. Find someone who you can open up to and say, hey, this is what's happening with me and I'm struggling. Because once you choose, if you choose what the enemy will come to you with those thoughts. He will come to you to try to forfeit and cut off your plan, the plan that God has for your life. And you have to fight back. Even as weak as you feel, even you picking up the phone to call for help is you fighting back against the enemy. So I'm encouraging you, pick up the phone, call somebody, go and sit with someone that you who can help you to get out of this situation. And then I also want you to look at the different situations of your life, the ones that you think about as regret, the ones that you look at and think, oh God, I regret that thing. And look for the lessons, because even those disappointing moments of our lives have lessons in them. Everything is teachable. There is a teachable moment in every single thing that we go through in our lives. And so I encourage you to not look at it through the lens of regret, but look at it as, okay, what do you want me to learn here? And also, when you see the thing recurring, you see the thing happening over and over again, there's something that you haven't learned yet. So get quiet and ask God to show you the thing that you need to learn. So it's not about regret, it's not about disappointment, it's about what can I learn out of this thing. Yes, it hurt me. Yes, I feel bad about it. Yes, I went through it and I shouldn't have. But confess your sin, you are forgiven, learn the lesson, and be better. Be better than you were yesterday. And don't allow anybody to hold you to your past. You are free, and you don't have to look at anything with regret. Look at it for what you can learn. Yeah? Think about it and be encouraged. You are forgiven and you are set free. Have a great day. Bye.